Today we're talking all about SEO and the timeline that you can expect for results, as well as when the best time would be to start doing SEO work. So if you've been wondering, this is a great episode for you. Welcome to the Up in My Business podcast with me, Lex Lancaster, where you'll get an inside look at all things tech, business, and my life as a physical therapist turned digital operations expert. You'll hear all about my lessons as a business owner, the ins and outs of tech for your business, and more. From SEO, websites, and email marketing to automations, launches, and copywriting, I've got you. I'm so excited you're here. Let's dive in. As always, before we get started, I need to talk about Up in My Business's sponsor, Jane. Jane is an all-in-one practice management software with features like online booking, scheduling, documentation, and a PCI-compliant payment solution. The time that you spend with your patients and clients is valuable, and filling out forms during their appointment can quickly take away time from your session, which we all know how that feels. That's why the team at Jane has designed online intake forms that your patients can complete from the comfort of their own homes before they come to their session. And it also helps them remember to fill out their forms. Jane will have email reminders that are sent to the patient automatically before their appointment. This means that they arrive ready to start their appointment and you can arrive ready to help. There's nothing better than when a patient comes in and all their intake paperwork is complete. I mean, if you are a treating clinician, you know exactly what I mean. Jane's online intake forms are fully customizable to ensure you're collecting everything you need ahead of time, whether that's a credit card on file, that is key, insurance billing details, or signed consent. You can build your intake forms from scratch or use a template from Jane's template library, which is amazing, by the way, and customize it further to meet your practice needs. If you're interested in learning more, head to jane.app/guide, or you can use the code LEX1MO at sign up to receive a 1-month grace period on your new account. Again, that's LEX1MO at checkout. Welcome back to another episode of Up in My Business. I am super excited to record this episode. I will be recording this one as well as one later in the week, but this specific episode is obviously the 4th episode in my SEO series, and also essentially, I was asked a question, so it is formulated and planned out based on this specific question, as well as something that I feel like I need to go over when it comes to SEO. So we will be talking all about that shortly. For some business and life stuff. So life stuff, my shit was fucked up. So sorry if you don't really jive with swearing, but this is who I am. My sound on my podcast. So long story short, I have no fucking clue if my stuff sounded bad for the past 3 episodes, but it sounded fine in my headphones. But I was sitting on the couch with Shantae, I don't know, two days ago, and I was like, hey, so I can't hear myself when I record. So I wear headphones when I record in GarageBand. So I record the episode sitting at my computer. I do not do video at this point. No planning. I'm not planning to do video anytime soon because I can sit here in my sweatshirt without being ready, and I am fine with that. So I sit at my computer, I record my episode, I have my mic, but then I have a set of headphones on so that I can hear myself when I record. And for the last 3 episodes, I just haven't been able to hear myself record. Now, I knew that the sound was working because when I played it back, it was fine. But I was sitting here and I was like, I have no clue how to fix this. I tried everything. So long story short, I'm not the techie person when it comes to the podcasting, the lighting, all that stuff. That's totally Shantae's I don't know. She's so good at it. So I didn't ask her because I was like, I'm not going to bother her with this ridiculous ask. There's no possible way that, I'm missing something. I just thought my shit didn't work. I was like, my headphones don't work. I'm going to have to get new headphones. She comes in and was like, I said to her on the couch, I was like, yeah, I haven't been able to hear myself as I record for the last 3 episodes. And she was like, what? And so she came up to my office, did a bunch of problem solving, and long story short, we figured it out. So if my sound was like really loud for you, the reason was because my headphones were not picking things up. And you already know that I do not. So I listen to my episode in order to line up the clips, but like I don't re-listen to my episodes after I record. I'm not the type of person who wants to like listen and take things out and adjust things and take out the likes and the ums and any sort of other filler that I use. And I just didn't notice because when I edit, I was using my headphones and it seemed fine. And then when I was editing, I'd use my computer because I couldn't hear myself, so I used my computer and it sounded fine. So if it sounded fine, great. If it didn't, sorry. It should be better now because I'm currently using headphones as I record and I can hear myself. So we're pretty golden as far as I'm concerned. But I'm laughing about it because she was like, what do you mean you can't hear yourself? And was like laughing and like, why didn't you tell me? I can help. And realistically, like it was just slipping my mind. And I record on Sunday. It's currently Sunday night at 6:30. So I record on Sunday nights. And by the time I'm recording, it's obviously late. So I'm like, I just don't even at this point, like I'll just record. It sounds fine. And anyway, so I'm hoping it sounded fine. If not, whatever, this episode's better. So that's one life update. Another life update, going through some SI joint stuff. Shantae treated me last Sunday at the beach because I was like, oh my God, my back hurts so bad. I could not do any sort of lumbar extension, and laying on my back was so painful. Thinking it's from more of like I can't dissociate trunk rotation, my hips from my trunk essentially, or hips from shoulders. And that's a lot of volleyball in general. So swinging, any sort of hitting and serving. So having some pain with that, and she treated me. So when Shantae treats me, I don't do homework. Like it's just my thing. Like I'm the worst patient in the world. You can ask Anna Hartman, Movement Rev, which she solved my shoulder pain. So I'm not complaining about the fact that I didn't do the homework that she gave me, but Shantae was like, you need to do your shit. So working through that, it was feeling great after she treated me and gave me some homework to do. So doing some of that stuff, some nice quarter Turkish get-ups right now have been really helping it. So I am just going to be doing that. And today on the beach, it started to hurt again, and I did that and it felt better. So yes, homework is great, yada, yada. I'm going to keep doing it because I would like to not have this whole like back pain thing. The worst part is honestly when I sit down and I'm at my desk for too long and I go to stand up and it literally feels like my joint is frozen. Like my SI joint is just frozen and it hurts so bad. It's stuck. Like it literally feels stuck. So Shantae had said before, she's like, if I were to be treating still, I would want to do SI stuff. And I was like, since you're the SI joint savior, we've been talking about that on the Instagram intensive, her course for I don't know how many rounds now. And I was like, since you're the SI joint savior, do you want to help me? And so she gave me not like a full assessment or whatever, but she treated me, and now it feels better when I do my homework. So I'm just going to go with it, and it does feel good. So that's been going on. So that's fun. And then this weekend we're going to Vegas to meet up with some friends and go to a couple shows and do all the things. So super exciting week, super, super fun week. And yeah, I feel like that's all the life updates realistically. Everything is going really well with Moopert. If you follow the Moopert saga, Rupert actually came in. So long story short, before we moved, Rupert was inside the bedroom. Like when in the morning he would come and like wake us up or, jump into the bed. He hasn't been doing that because Moose lives in the bedroom at night. She's in her kennel. So he obviously is afraid. And today was the first day that he actually came into the bedroom in the morning. So that was a big thing for Shantae because obviously Rupert lives here and it's really hard to know that like Moose has free reign of the house, but Rupert is in the guest bedroom or underneath the couch. So for him to be wandering around and, have access to the entire house, is really, really good. And I forgot what else. Oh, if you follow Shantae's stories way back when, you would likely know that Rupert also used to do like he'd dive underneath the covers and sleep underneath the covers. And he hasn't been doing that, but I did bring him up to do that 2 nights this past week. So I think he finally realized like, okay, I can go in here without Moose acting like a fool, because you would think she's like a dinosaur in a cage or like a lion in a cage, and just like thrashing herself against the sides when she sees Rupert. And he obviously is afraid of that. So yeah, I'm hoping that part is over, but really good news as far as like Moopert goes. So that's all the life stuff I have for you. Business stuff, just finished up the Lextromind launch, which was mine and Shantae's joint coaching program. The applicants are fantastic, and it's going to be such a bomb program. If you missed the launch for that, it was a pocket launch is what we call it. So pocket launch, you would have learned that if you were in the Lextromind, but pocket launch, we essentially just launched to that waitlist like I had been mentioning for the past 5 months, and we'll reopen it maybe next year. Don't know. We have to figure out how this round goes and like what the timeline looks like and all the things. And then, yeah, so if you are interested, at some point next year, we'll put out an interest list, or sometime when the program starts, we'll put out an interest list, but super, super excited for that. We're doing a live event in January, and I'm thrilled for the live event piece. The live event is going to be so fucking good. So anyway, that just finished up. Going through applications, going to be notifying who is accepted, who is not in the next week. And then the big update, if you have been around here long enough, you know that SEO school opened for registration to the waitlist today, which is today. I'm saying today as in Monday when you're listening to this episode. So I just finished up all of the things needed that will be going out tomorrow for emails and whatnot. So that way they can be automated and sent out at the correct time, because the first one goes out at 6 a.m. PST. So if you are on the wait list, you should have gotten an email if you're listening to this after 6 a.m. PST, and you can register for SEO school with the waitlist discount up until Friday. If you're listening to this and you're like, I missed the waitlist, sorry, you're going to have to register during regular enrollment, which will open up next Monday. So stay tuned for that. And you can see the information in my link in bio. I left the SEO school landing page up so that way you can look at what SEO school is, but by being on my email list, you can get notified of SEO school opening for the regular launch. So that is all the details there. I believe that's the only other business update I really have. Everything else is just going, right? So I am super pumped about my done for you SEO services, having some really good results with clients. Really loving my retainer work as always, just being able to do monthly tasks for people, all of the tech and planning and SEO and all the things. And yeah, now we're adding Lextromind and my do it in a day. It's just, I love this. Q4 has been absolutely insane. So just really, really pumped for that. And I think my episode that I record later this week is going to be all about saying no and time and your calendar and I just did a thread on something the other day, and I want to talk more in depth on that. So I will likely be recording that later this week, but super, super happy about all the things business wise. So without further ado, I'm just taking a deep breath before I start talking really fast. SEO school and SEO timing. So this is something that I was asked on Instagram by someone. I will keep them anonymous because they did not give me permission to use their name, but they asked me in one of my question boxes, what's the timeline to see results for SEO? And it's a really good question to ask, because you're thinking, if I invest money, if I invest time in this thing, it's really nice to understand when I will receive or see in general ROI. So here's the thing, and this is just me being blatantly honest with you. When it comes to SEO, there is no guaranteed timeline. So it's not like I can tell you it's going to be 3 months, it's going to be 6 months, it's going to be 9 months. It's totally dependent on what you're going for, like who your ideal client is, what your, let's just call it type of business is. And that's like online virtual versus in-person brick and mortar. And it also depends on how you do things, like how you perform and what you're doing. So there's going to be a difference. And I'm going to say another big difference is how old your domain is, your www address. So that's also a huge determinant, but I won't go too far in depth with that. But when it comes to results for SEO, the first thing we have to understand is what does results mean? Because results for someone buying a product from you is very different than results for someone coming into your clinic and being treated, or buying your course, or investing in a high ticket coaching program, right? So we have to think about what you're actually delivering as a service. And not to mention, SEO is just a way to get more eyes. So as all of the people that I work with have something that they're offering and they want to bring awareness to. People are not owning jewelry stores. They're not owning sweatshirt shops. They're not advertising on Instagram to buy their latest Stanley Cup. Like, that's not what my people are doing. My people are offering services to people, to other humans, whether that's business owners or direct clients. Okay. So as a service-based business, I'm sure you can nod your head. If you nod your head and you're like, yes, this is exactly what I thought, then amazing when I say this next thing. So we all know that as a service-based business, we have to make a lot of touch points with our people. So someone may see your content, see you, meet you in person. They might watch you on a YouTube video. They might hear about you from someone else's Instagram story. They might follow you on Instagram today, but they might not buy from you until 2 years from now. And that is huge. So when we think about it like that, we have to understand that SEO for our business type is all about bringing more awareness to our business, our brand, ourselves, our content, our expertise, the thing that we do. That's what we're looking at for SEO. So it's really tough for me to say, hey, look, you're going to see ROI on this, because you can't really measure that as far as patients coming into your clinic and booking, or someone buying your course, because someone could have found you on Google. They could have found you and your service via Google, but then they might not buy your course until they read 6 of your blog posts 2 years from now. So for me to sit here and say like it's going to be a specific amount of time, that would be a disservice to you. And that would mean that I am being dishonest, right? I cannot give you a guarantee. And that's my biggest red flag with SEO. People can tell you like, yes, I will increase your audience, meaning like I will get you in front of more people. Yes, I can. Amazing. I love that. But they cannot guarantee you, especially as a service-based business, that more bookings will come in to your clinic. I can't tell you that you're going to book 6 patients next week because we started doing SEO work 2 months ago. And that's the hardest thing to grasp onto as someone who is teaching SEO. I have to teach you that, and people have a really hard time understanding that at first. And then once I say exactly what I just said to you, that this is a touch point, this is a way to get you in front of that person or your ideal client just another time, that's when people can really latch onto the fact that like SEO is not a direct money game, if you will. And it makes sense, because let's take us another step back. If I were to tell you that you're going to run ads for your business, so you're going to run ads for a workshop you're doing, or maybe you're running ads for a freebie that you have, an ebook. If you have a cold person, so someone who does not know you, they get an ad served to them, they sign up for that ebook, they get your ebook in your email. I want you to ask yourself how many times you have also done the same thing, been served an ad. That person is essentially cold. That's a cold lead. That does not make it so they get served that ad that you paid to have served to them. They don't automatically buy your high ticket coaching program. Like, yes, will people invest in an initial evaluation? Yes, will people invest in maybe one session? Potentially, we don't know, but that is just showing you that this cold lead is all you're trying to warm up. So anybody who's finding you on Google, you're trying to warm them up with your content. You're trying to warm them up by being found. Now, I'm going to take another step back, because I had said it matters what your business is. So an online business versus a brick and mortar business. Brick and mortar businesses will have more success faster because there is a location associated with the service that they provide and who they are, their profession. And the thing is a lot of searches are location based, and that does typically lend itself to a customer that is looking for something right away. So if we think about oil changes, or if we think about physical therapy, if someone's searching for that in a specific area, they're looking for someone. So when I talk about a brick and mortar business, they do see results faster than an online business in almost every single case, because location is a huge, huge, huge helper in that scenario. So how long will SEO take? It's a toss-up. I don't know. I can't tell you a specific timeline. I can tell you it will take time. And that's the biggest thing. It's like, this is an investment game. So you think about SEO as an investment. I cannot tell you, when it's going to happen, but starting later is never the answer. So it's just like anything else. If you do not put energy into it, and if you do not play the game, you will not win. It just is what it is. And there is never a situation where someone is like, I wish I started 10 years from now. No, like, you wish you started yesterday. And the coolest thing about SEO is just, if you play the game now, it's mostly about good habits. Like, honest to God, it's about good habits and just establishing those good habits for doing things that you're already doing. Like, if you're already writing Instagram posts, how can we make that serve Google? How can we help you take what you're already creating and make it better so that Google will find you and put you in front of your ideal client? How can we write content that is specific for your ideal client that Google likes? How can we do that? How can we adjust your website? How can we rewrite things in order to tell Google, like, hey, look, I'm important for your people. I'm important for the person who's Googling this specific thing. And it's all about good habits because it is a long-term game, right? So we're not trying to do this in a one and done situation. This is a long-term thing. So once you learn the good habits and you do the good habits over and over and over again and make it that habit rather than just something you do randomly, then you can win the game of SEO. And realistically, that's why I say I can't tell you how long it'll take, because I don't know what you're creating. I don't know what content you're putting out. I don't know how often you're creating content. I don't know how many website updates you're making. That all matters. And when inside SEO school, I give you all of the details that you need in order to make the website updates, write the content, share the content, get found on Google. But it's all about how often you're doing it and what does that content look like and how much competition is there in that specific field, right? So it is all determinant on a bunch of different things. But if you don't play the game, you have zero chances. And like, that's the end of it, right? So if you don't play, you can't win. And SEO is always something you want to get started on sooner rather than later. And I want to address two more things in this whole, how long does it take? When is the right time? The other thing that I want to point out is that sometimes I hear people say that you shouldn't worry about SEO as you're starting. And I would argue that there is never a bad time to start and it's never too early, because like I had just said, it's about good habits. And when we think about ROI of this just being a touch point, this getting a blog post up is another touch point for a potential patient. It's never too early to start building trust. So if we think about SEO and getting more traffic to your site and your content as a trust building piece, right? Part of your business, a leg of your business that's building trust, there really is not a bad time to start that. And I would argue that once you start doing it, it's going to serve you for a long time. It's not the same as doing an in-person workshop. 100%. That's not going to get the same amount of leverage and people and interests, etc. But it is a touch point. So by doing SEO work, by building content for your ideal client, getting them wins through that content, you are creating another touch point, building trust, and establishing yourself as an expert in your field. So there is realistically never a bad time or too early. It's never too early to start building that content and to start focusing on it. And knowing the SEO principles from the start is just basically reassuring that you are putting the correct pieces in place to get found later on. So that's my whole spiel on like, is it too early or is it not too early? Now, I had said, I just want to make sure that I'm very, very specific when I say this. The timeline for SEO and when is it a good time? The one thing that I want to mention that I think trips people up when it comes to this is that SEO is, let's call it tech-based. So SEO school does cover tech. It covers the back end stuff of your website. It covers the things you need to do, but the tech component of SEO is kind of like 40%, maybe 50%-ish. The other 50% is just creating content and how to do that in the best way. So I think when people say, don't worry about it, or it's not, you have bigger fish to fry, 100%. Do I think that getting your word of mouth base is 100% key for a brick and mortar business, especially, and even for an online business? Yes, of course. But the reason why I want to point this out is because I think people don't think past the technical component of SEO, and it's way, way bigger than just the tech. And you're learning strategy and how to talk to your ideal client and create wins for them. And like, how can your content do that? And how can you update your website to do the same thing? And how do you lay out your website so that an ideal client can come to your site and have a good experience and therefore be like, hey, I think this person might be for me. So it's way beyond the tech component. So if you hear someone say like, oh, don't worry about it, oftentimes it's about the time commitment that's required for SEO. Like, I will not lie to you. I tell people in SEO school to set aside 1.5 to 2 hours a week for learning and content development. But I believe anybody who's trying to get found online or do work online or in person, you should plan to have 1.5 to 2 hours for content creation regardless. So whether that's updating your website, making a new brochure for your clinic, writing a blog post, making an Instagram post, whatever that looks like, or planning, activities, you're going to have to take that time and set it aside anyway. So for me, I tell them like, hey, look, you will have a hard time fitting this in if you don't make time for it. And that's just like point blank period. It will always feel like you're fitting things in if you don't schedule it in to begin with. So I tell them from the start, you need to schedule this, put it on your calendar, say that this is time for creating content for SEO specific stuff, and then run with that. So that's my spiel on how long it takes and is it ever too early? And I welcome questions about it because I understand like it's one of the things that's like, it's not a cool topic. It's not fun. It's not something that people are like excited to do. I will say that most people will say like, Lex, I don't care about tech. I didn't do a business. I didn't want to do this. Like, I own a business, but this is the side that I don't want to do. This is the side that I just never thought I'd have to do. I just want to treat and I want to, serve my people. So I get it. I understand. And I welcome questions about the timeline, and I welcome you to ask them via DM, send me an email, whatever serves you and makes it easy. But I get it. And this is why this specific person asked me this question. And for that person, I hope this answered that for you. And if anyone else, like I said, has questions, please shoot them back to me. So that's all I've got for you. Just some quick details on SEO School. The waitlist registration is open today until this Friday, the 27th. And then registration for regular, so actual public launch, will be from October 30th until November 3rd. Yes, November 3rd is the Friday. So October 30th to November 3rd. And then on November 6th, it will be our first kickoff call. I'm doing a bonus kickoff call and I'm pretty excited for it. And we'll be doing kickoff call, and access to the course will open on November 6th. So that's all I've got for you. If you have questions about SEO School, please let me know. You will be getting emails. I'm going to send out an email likely Monday, Wednesday, and then 2 on Friday for public launch. And then for waitlist week, you've already been getting my emails, so you know what to expect. I will be recording another episode this weekend or before this weekend so that I can be ahead of the game because I'm going away. And I look forward to recording that. As always, I am so incredibly thankful that you take the time to listen to the podcast and you're here, and it just means so much to me. I love recording these, and sometimes I'm sitting here talking to myself and I'm like, hopefully this lands for someone. Hopefully someone enjoys this. So if you enjoy it, if it lands for you, please shoot me a DM. I love hearing from you. And as always, if you have topic requests, I'd love to hear them. Like I said, this whole episode was brought about by someone's question. So I always welcome topic suggestions. All right. It's currently 7:00 on Sunday, and I am going to go finalize some more stuff for the week, and I will catch you next week. Thank you so much again.